Hello everybody, happy Friday. I hope that you have been having a wonderful week and that you are starting the weekend off, on the right foot. Y'all ain't nothing to look at. My hair is toe down. I literally just had it down like this because all week I've literally had my hair pinned up out of my face, up off of my shoulders, all that because my hair be doing the most, y'all. So ain't nothing to see. I gotta wash my hair. So I know I look raggedy, so you ain't gotta tell me. But anyway, y'all, as you can see by the title, this is the Queen Sugar recap on the latest episode, honey. So let me go ahead and get into it. Y'all ignore my hair. I know my hair doing the least. So anyway, also, disclaimer. Throughout this video, you are going to see me possibly drinking water and eating cherries. So yeah, just be mindful of that. I don't want to alarm you when I take a moment to enjoy a sip of water and a cherry. So yeah, just letting you know now. Y'all, anyway, so this episode starts off with Nova. It appears like she is still in the process of leaving her home. This is when she's walking out of the house with her bags, and then she has this moment where it's like she's talking to her younger self or her mother, and she actually ends up waking up from a dream, and in this dream it's her mother coming to her. Apparently her mother has come to her in her dreams 3 times. This is the 3rd time her mother has come to her in her dreams. So I don't know if she's going to take this as some sort of sign or what. Maybe she needs to get the book pulled. I don't know. But yeah, she literally woke up, realized it was a dream, and then she immediately took her voice recorder and made a note of the fact that her mother came to her in her dream again, and that was the 3rd time. So Ralph Angel went over to Darla's house to, see about Blue. And Blue answers the door. And so, like an amazing father would do, he was like, what you doing answering the door? Where your mom at? And so, he was like, well, mom's still asleep, and she told me that I can answer the door as long as you are the one who I'm answering the door in reference to. So he was looking like, okay. He was like, well, we can go, but before we leave, I need to text your mama something real quick. And so I was like, okay, cool. Y'all, so Prosper and Vi are at the diner talking, and somebody's gonna come into town, like some random woman who Prosper seems to be a little bit smitten by, or he used to be really cool with. I don't know. I might not have been able to catch that. I didn't catch that part all the way like I should have. I meant to rewind, but I didn't. But anyway, it got to a point where they finished talking, and Remy appeared. Now y'all know we have not seen Remy since what, last season or something, maybe? Like, we haven't seen him in quite some time, right? Remy done showed up, y'all. I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, but the man who plays Remy, he ages so well. Like, I forgot how old he is, but I have seen him in movies, TV shows, or whatever for as long as I can remember, and he looks the same. He seems as though he doesn't age, and or he seems to look better as time goes on. And I'm just like, yes, I don't know what you're doing. You must have did something right, because you're looking good. You look good. You look good. Y'all, but anyway, he appeared. And so Vi, he addressed Prosper, and then Prosper went on by his business. He was going to leave. And so, of course, Vi was happy to see him. He was definitely a sight for sore eyes. So she was here for that. She was really, really happy to see him. He was so happy for her, and like you could tell that he was genuinely happy for her success. And he was talking about how nice the restaurant looks and all that other stuff. And then Hollywood came from out the back. He was like, I know that ain't Remy. Y'all, I don't want to say his last name wrong, but he was like, I know that ain't Remy. And he went and embraced him as well. He was like, what you doing here? Where you been? Or something like that. Y'all know how Hollywood talk. I live for it. I live for some of the people who talk country. I be here for it. I don't know if he speaks like that in real life, because that's his natural country twang, but I'm here for it. Y'all, so anyway. Cause like he literally disappeared, y'all. Like, he was in his feelings because y'all know the backstory, he was dating Charlie, and then they kind of went off on their separate ways, and you know, him and Nova kind of sparked something. And I ain't gonna lie, I was here for Nova and Remy to be together, so I don't know what in the world was going on. I understand that Nova was like, look, I'm not gonna pursue nothing with you, even though I've been knowing you longer than she ever knew you, and I'm just gonna be like, look, that's my sister, I can't do it, even though I'm here for you and you here for me. Y'all, I was just so mad. I was like, man, at times I was like, man, forget Charlie. Charlie don't care. Everybody want Charlie, and Charlie got money. Charlie can do what she need to do. She can get any man she wants. She ain't gotta have Remy. She don't appreciate Remy like that. Y'all, I was so mad that situation wasn't gonna work, because I was like, oh my gosh. I just kind of wish that, oh Lord, I'm dropping stuff. I just kind of wish that there was some sort of way that they could work around it, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I don't know, and y'all know Nova be doing the most anyway when it comes to relationships, so I don't know if that really would have worked out, but I really did see that working, and I was like, I was so here for it. But yeah, it didn't happen. Anyway, so Charlie is in her office doing some work, and then her ex calls her, and she's looking at the phone like, so she finally answers the phone, and it's him, like I said, her ex-husband on the phone. He in his feelings because people at the school, namely students, they, you know, realize that he's there, and they know about what's going on with him as far as what they've tried to cover up, and all because of, you know, of course, Nova's book. And so they're in their feelings, and they are protesting him, and the man ain't even started really working there yet. And he was looking like at one point in time in the show, he was like, man, at first it was like 10 protesters, and then I came to work the next day and it was like 200 of them out of there. And I was just like, Lord. So it got to a point where he was like, man, you need to help me to, you know, get this situation to go away. Because, you know, of course, that's her sister. And so he's naturally like, girl, I need you to help me to get this done, because I'm trying to start over. I'm trying to, you know, have a different image now, and all this stuff is coming out of nowhere, and I ain't even started work yet. Y'all, so she was just looking like, bruh, I ain't got time for you. You fix it on your own. So he was like, no, I need your help. I need you to fix this. I need you to help me. Can you meet me for lunch? Whatever. And so she was looking like, nah, I ain't trying to be seen with you in public nowhere. I ain't trying to be out in public with you nowhere. And so she was like, look, we can meet up at the mill, because yeah, I ain't trying to be out in public with you, so whatever. And so while she was on the phone, her bae came in, and you know, he actually dropped by. He is so sweet. Like, I really, really seriously hope there's nothing underlying going on that's gonna come out of hiding, and it's gonna be some terrible situation where she has been duped into thinking that somebody was one way and there's something else. I don't know, y'all. It's like when things seem to be going oh so well, I'm just waiting. I just done got to the point where I'm like, okay, this is too good to be true. Something about to pop off that, you know, it's not gonna make it a good situation again. So I was like, okay, we shall see, honey. We shall see. So, you know, he was like, he dropped by, like I said, and he was like, well, I did drop by because I wanted to take you out, you know, for lunch, have lunch or whatever, but I don't know if that can happen now because it seems like you have plans. And I don't believe he was trying to eavesdrop. He just so happened to walk in while she was having that conversation, and that part of the conversation was going on. And, you know, it just got to a point where she actually told the truth. Was like, look, I got to handle some stuff with my ex and, you know, whatever, and I just want to make sure everything is going to go over smooth. And, you know, I'm just trying to think of Micah, like, and that's the thing that kills me about him. He knows exactly what to say to her, and I'm referring to her ex-husband. Even though it is true, anytime anything happens, even though it really is about him being selfish and what the public is going to think about him, he's like, well, you need to do it for Micah's sake. You need to do it for the sake of Micah. And I'm just like, I hear you, but you know, it's mainly for your sake, because your reputation is what's on the line here, not your son's. Not, you know, not really, not in that capacity. But anyway, it was so sweet because he was like, you know what, see, that's what I love about you. you are so giving and you want what's best for your son. And you know, they had their little moment and then they kissed. And I was like, oh, look at y'all. Y'all better do that. Yeah. Anyway, so y'all, we go back to Darla. Darla is still in the bed and somebody was calling her. And I think that's the guy she had been dating or whatever. And she just let that go to voicemail. You can see she had missed messages that she hadn't answered yet. And I don't know if he had called before that or whatever, but yeah. She just ain't here for it, y'all. You can tell she's still in her feelings about that book, everything that has come out. So, you know, she's just... And then she eventually got up and she prayed. And, you know, even before she prayed, I was like, Lord, please don't let this be a precursor to her about to spiral out of control and get back on drugs and all this other stuff. Like, because that's really what I feel like is going to happen. I really hope it doesn't go down that road. But a lot is going on, and it's just a lot. And anything, like, a lot of this stuff could be triggers for people like her. So I'm just really hoping that it won't go that way. But anything can happen. I'm really hoping that it don't do that. So yeah, y'all. And you know, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that was in that book, and it's just so much. It is so much. It would leave anybody who is involved, who she speaks about in that book, feeling very vulnerable and susceptible to so much. I couldn't even imagine to be in any of their situations in that moment, y'all. It's a lot. So anyway, Nova is currently still out on her book tour, and right now she's in New York. And so they're doing a Q&A, and this woman stands up, and she's like a professor at one of the universities, and she's like well respected. So she and Nova keep having this banter back and forth, and I'm like, okay, have y'all crossed paths before? Like, what is going on? Like, y'all got to know each other, or something has happened where y'all have crossed paths, right? And so it got to a point where Nova read her. And, you know, she read her in a way. And she said what she said, and the crowd was here for it. But then it got to a point where the woman, I think her name is Octavia, who is actually played by Cree Summer. If you don't remember who Cree Summer is, how dare you? Cree Summer does a lot in her life and has done so much. Even before what she was first really, you know, known for by most of us, which was Summer, y'all said Summer. Freddie Brooks on It's a Different World. So y'all know she does like what one of the dog's voices on Clifford the Big Red Dog, and she does a lot of voiceover work, which if you don't know, that pays exceptionally well. And I wish I had the type of voice for that, because I would have definitely signed up and I would have been getting money. But I don't have a voice like that, and that's all right. That ain't for me, that's for her. She's everything. I live for her as an actress. I live for her. I really do. She's a great singer as well, in my opinion. So yeah, Cree Summer. It's her real name. I think on here her name is Octavia. So anyway, so it gets back to the part where Remy and Hollywood actually sit down and they're talking about why Remy disappeared. And so he was like, you know, well, what happened? You know, you just up and disappeared. You ain't called nobody. Everybody been calling you. You ain't returning no phone calls. You ain't returning no text messages. Nothing. Ain't nobody heard from you. Just up and left. And so he was like, you know, look, I had to just leave. I had to get away from everything. After my wife passed away, you know, a lot was going on with me. And I had to come to the realization that this place is a place that my wife wanted to be and settle down at. I met Charlie. I fell for her hard. I really thought that we were going to be something. It ended up not working. And then there was a really big spark between myself and Nova. And then that didn't work out, you know, for obvious reasons. Like I said, I wanted it to work. Oh my gosh. And so he was just like, you know, so much was going on. And it just got to a point where I had to realize that I needed to find out who I was. So he actually is still in the middle of self-discovery and all that good stuff. Y'all, it got to a point where he finished saying what he had to say. Vi brought him out like a pie or some kind of pastry for him to go and leave with, for him to have on the road. And he was like, look, I need for you to tell Charlie and Nova I said goodbye. Thank you very much. So, you know, he attributes him being able to now know that he needed to find himself to, you know, meeting and being with them. So yeah, he left. And I was like, Lord, this is too much. Y'all, so anyway, Micah is actually at jail visiting one of his classmates / friends. You know, when that incident happened where they went to one of those reenactments and the boy's book bag was filled with all that stuff, so they ended up taking him to jail. Yeah, and like he was a really good kid. They put him in jail, made an example out of him and all the other stuff. So they visited him. Micah got in his feelings because he was just like, it's not fair that you're in here. You know, you were standing up for something and, you know, you didn't deserve to be put in here. And he just was saying that he feels like the things that they were trying to achieve, it didn't even pay off in the end because look where he ended up at. So he was trying to he actually was trying to encourage the boy. And then in turn, the boy seemed to encourage him a little bit. It was like, you know, it wasn't in vain. It wasn't for nothing, you know. And, you know, I'm going to do my time and I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to be good or whatever. So he actually had gotten a tattoo while he was in there from their friend. I think it was either before he went in or sometime while he was in there. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, it was this girl that's in the group with them. I think he said that she's the one who gave it to him. Anyway, but yeah, he, you know, he just felt like when he went that maybe it wasn't worth him going. And I don't know, Michael's really in his feelings about this. So Charlie's ex is at the mill, the house, wherever, basically the same difference. And he's whining about how all this stuff is blowing his spot up and how that book is just ruining his life. And so it just got to a point where Charlie was like, but it's your fault though. You should have thought about all this before you unzipped your pants, which is true. And he was just like, I don't know what I can do because I really am trying to do right. I came here because I want to start over and be near my son, y'all. It's just a lot. And, you know, he was just like, I just don't know what I can do. This is messing me up. And so she was like, you need to fess up to the things that you've done. You know what I'm saying? You can't just sit up here and blame everybody else because it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she wrote what she wrote, but it's your fault. You did those things. So, yeah. You know, and then she actually brought up a good point, which was, you know, did you ever consider what she was going through? Which, not her, you know, the actual woman who all this stuff happened to and they ended up paying off. And so he was sitting there looking crazy, and I'm like, Lord, stop. So anyway, she was like, look, the only thing that I can think of that you can do is to fess up to the things you do. Just take ownership and, you know, do interviews, and maybe that'll help. So, Y'all, so tell me why Nova and Octavia have squared up again. Nova went somewhere, and there she is, and I'm like, what is going on right here? So, Nova walks in the room, and there is like a table full of young women. Apparently, they're this woman's students, and they've read Nova's book, right? And so Nova is basically looking like, okay, checkmate. You sitting up here, you knew all along that I was gonna show up, and you had this set up on purpose. And so at first she was just like, look, I'm not even gonna do this with you, and was about to leave. So she was like, I've never known Nova Bordelon to not accept the challenge. So she went on ahead and sat down at the table, and they went on to the next thing, y'all. But it was basically an ambush of sorts. So Ralph Angel actually went out on a little picnic, and it's cute. You know, some things happen later on. just a little bit. But yeah, the woman, that outfit she had on, I have seen that outfit. Y'all, I'm sorry, get off topic. The little jumper thing that she had on is so cute. I have seen that in various colors and different styles, as far as like whether it has stripes or not. But it's so cute. That is so cute. It's so cute to me. But anyway, yeah, y'all. It is so cute. Y'all, he gave her some roses. I was like, you better do that. And so she was like, I've never been on a picnic, or if she had been, I think she said she hadn't been on a picnic since she was a child. That might be what she said. And I was like, oh, okay, girl. So I thought that was cute. Y'all, tell me why Blue at the school, right? Minding his business on the playground. One of the children rolled up on him and was like, hey, Blue, congratulations on winning the spelling bee. So he was like, oh, thanks. You know, mainly, you know, it's because of my daddy. My dad helps me. My pop helps me a lot and all this other stuff. Because Ralph Angel is very much so involved with Blue. Man, tell me why this little boy was like, well, that ain't your daddy, so I don't know what you're talking about. That ain't your real daddy. My aunt or my mama or somebody said that you ain't got no daddy. That ain't your real daddy. And I was like, why is grown people telling the children this? What is going on? I mean, and Blue was like, no, I have a father. That's my daddy. And then this boy continued to talk to him as if he didn't just wreck this child's whole being. It was like, you want to go play somewhere else and do something? I was like, boy. And I know, I understand he's a child, but he just said that like it wasn't nothing, and went on to the next topic like it wasn't nothing, wanted to go back to playing. I was like, boy, oh my gosh, stop it. I was so tired. Y'all, anyway, so like I said earlier, Ralph Angel is on his little picnic date, right? And so they're out there, and she is in awe of how amazing the food tastes. Of course, the food was made by Vi, and she was like, is this the type of stuff that you've had your whole life? And so he was like, yeah. And he was like, you know, after my mom died, my Aunt Vi used to come around all the time. She would cook for us. My dad didn't know how to cook, so she always kept us fed. So, you know, that's just what it was when it came to that. Cool. And so, you know, she was here for that. And so she was like, well, can you cook? And so he was like, yeah, I can cook. And so she was like, she kind of challenged him like, but can you cook for real though? And so he was like, you're going to have to find out. And so he basically insinuated how she can find out about that and some other things. And, you know, she didn't get offended. So I was like, oh, okay, because I was kind of like, oh, okay, she going to get offended. What's going to happen? But she didn't seem to get offended. And, you know, she understood what was being insinuated. And, you know, eventually they kissed and things. And while they kissing, his phone started ringing. And so she was like, I'm going to need for you to go ahead, hurry up and answer that so we can get into this next kiss. So then they over there, and of course the school has called him because Blue is crying uncontrollably, and I guess he won't tell nobody what the problem is, and nobody knows why he's just in there crying down. It's just so sad. I can't. So yeah, so of course he had to cut that date all the way short. So anyway, y'all, tell me why Charlie's ex sitting up there trying to reminisce. I was like, if you don't get somewhere at Davis, get somewhere and sit down. Trying to reminisce. And, you know, she ain't moved by it, and I'm glad that she ain't, you know, back in that vulnerable space anymore. She really seems to be happy where she is. Y'all, she was like, you know, there was a time when I needed these words, but, you know, y'all, he thought that was his opening. He just knew he was about to get a kiss and probably some booty right after that. Lies. I was so tired. I was like, sir, if you don't get somewhere, sit down. And she had to she had to hit the matrix on him real quick. And, you know, she didn't mention anything about dating or whatever, but she was like, yeah, but the time has passed. I ain't here for that. But she backed up. She was like, I ain't got time for that. So anyway, Vi ended up catering her first funeral, and she was not here for it. And, you know, because, you know, funerals are a sad occasion, and, you know, that might have actually made her have a moment, a brief flash of her, you know, ultimate passing or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, it's just a lot. And she got in her feelings, and she was like, you know, she basically said that she was in a good place And then when Nova came out with all this stuff in the book, it messed her up. And she used to be so scared, and it took her a long time to get to a place where she wasn't scared or fearful of her ex anymore. And now she's back in that place again. And so he was like, I would never let him hurt you. And so she was like, I understand all that, but that don't stop me from feeling the way I feel, and it's all because of Nova. I will never forgive her. She said it was like somebody spit in her face when she did all that. I was like, ooh, Lord, girl. Y'all, so anyway, Nova is still sitting down with the students, and then she's having like this back and forth with like this one student in particular, which we, kind of find out why she tries to kind of challenge everything that Nova says. It's a lot, y'all. So anyway, it gets to the point where, we come in at the end of the discussion where nothing really has been said like that. But Octavia's like, well, I'm just going to dismiss y'all. Me and Nova have some catching up to do, so bye. Y'all, everybody going about their business except that one little girl. I was like, girl, I'm pretty sure she told all y'all to go, so what is going on here? Y'all, she ended up, kind of being like, yeah, you can get on down the road. So the girl going by her business, right? And Nova was like, oh, so you still have a type, or something like that. She was like, you still have a change, still have a type. Because when she did that, I was like, I know you ain't gay, are you, girl? I know you don't swing that way, do you, girl? What's going on? Y'all was right. So, Nova was like, you have a type, she's smart and all this other stuff. Y'all, I was tired in my spirit. And anyway, Blue ended up running in the house after his mama picked him up and like ran straight in his room, wouldn't say nothing. So none of them knew for certain what was going on. I mean, as soon as he ran to the door, closed the door, Ralph Angel popped up at the house and was like, "Where Blue at?" Like, where's Blue? And so she was like, he just went in his room, he won't say anything, whatever. So they're trying to strategize what they can do, and he was like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and leave and I'll be back early tomorrow. So she was like, oh, no. He might wake up in the middle of the night. I don't know what to say, whatever. Y'all, I guess he stayed there overnight, or I don't know. So it was just a lot. Y'all, so Charlie ended up walking in to the pop-up clinic, right? And she is amazed because it's a full house, y'all. So she looking like, really? Wow. Because like last time we saw this, she was just looking like, okay, why aren't there that many people here? And her man explained that, a lot of people want to really eventually, because it's kind of like word of mouth a little bit, because a lot of people are scared that ICE is going to show up and like something is going to pop off. They don't feel safe, so they're waiting to fill it out and then they might show up. So a lot of people have been hearing about it, and they've heard that it's a safe place and all this other good stuff, right, y'all? So everybody's there, and even the guy who they had to help, that's Ralph Angel's employee, he was there, and I guess he was getting a checkup. Y'all, old dude was about to leave. ICE busted in the door and was like, we need to see all your paperwork. And I was like, oh gosh, sir. And Charlie set it off. She was like, you can't do that. That's illegal. What are you doing in here? This is a safe place. Y'all, why am I so tongue-tied on that? And it was just a lot, y'all. They ended up arresting old dude, a couple of other people, and old boy was like, somebody called my wife, do all this other stuff while they were taking him away. Charlie was like, look, I will get counsel for you if you needed all this other stuff. Y'all, it's just a lot. I was just like, Lord. So it got to a point where eventually they showed a part of it where I guess local sheriff or somebody came around, another authoritative figure in the municipal department type of situation, whatever, y'all. And they were just like, I have never seen somebody who is more disliked than you, to the point of where you should have did what you did when you blocked that jail situation that they were trying to get going. When you did that, they made a whole lot of people mad, and you are not on anybody's good side. Like, you are very much so not liked by people right now. And he was like, I ain't never had nobody that not like me like that in all my life. As fast as you have had people that not like you, it's just bad, y'all. So, yeah, she got red a little bit. Let me see. I lost my place. I was doing the most. So anyway, y'all, tell me why Micah is getting a tattoo. And, you know, it's kind of supposed to be to support the guy that's in jail. Y'all, he got like a bottle of what's supposed to be, I guess, like Jack Daniels and just turned it up. I'm just like, sir. So, his friends are there, and they're telling him that he needs to slow down, and it was just to kind of take the edge off so he's not in so much pain, I guess. And, y'all, he thought he was all right, but he ain't all right. He told down, y'all, I can't. So Blue still won't talk. He cried himself to sleep. It's bad. So anyway, Ralph Angel was just like, look. Because Darla was like, well, do you think that he knows about what was in the book? Somebody said something to him? And Ralph Angel was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody said something to him, but I don't know for sure. And so he was like, look, all that matters is Blue. Okay, y'all. Nova ended up asking Octavia why she stopped writing. And so they ended up going back and forth. She was like, well, I never stopped writing, whatever. Y'all tell me why this effort went all the way off. And she basically is in her feelings because Nova had one line in her book that referenced a professor in college. And it was actually about her. Y'all, she's in her feelings because she wrote one line about her. And it basically was to the point where she shouldn't have just never wrote nothing if she was going to just write that one line. Because in her mind, she's like, well, did I not matter to you enough for you to write more? Or like, what is it? Y'all, it was just a lie. I was tired in my spirit. And y'all, she was just like, she's so hung up on Nova. I want to know what Nova be doing to these men and women. Lord, all these people be living for her. It's like she put a spell. Does she put the voodoo on these people? Because y'all know that Nova's into all this stuff. I used to be like, Lord, y'all, I'm talking about they went on a trip to Italy together. It's a lie. And she was like, don't you remember when we were in Italy? And I was like, girl, you doing the most stuff. Y'all, they eventually kissed. You could tell she's infatuated with Nova. Y'all, they ended up sleeping together. So then when they woke up or whatever, when it was over, they were talking and all this other stuff. And so she was like, well, you know, how much longer are you here in New York? And so she was like, you know, I got like one more day or something like that. And then I'm on my way to these other places, Boston, somewhere else. And so she was like, well, maybe I could tag along with you so we can have some more time together. So she was like, don't you have classes to teach? And so she was like, well, that's why I have grad students for. They can hold it down for me. And so, you know, she might actually roll up. And so they ended up kissing again. I was like, Lord, y'all doing a lot. Y'all, anyway, so tell me why Charlie met up with that woman who I think was a politician of some sort. The woman who I told y'all was going to drop out because the Landrys had a lot of stuff going on. So word got back to her about Vicky or whatever the woman's name was, who always pulls up dirt for her. And she was just like, look, if the information got back to me, you know that the Landrys or somebody know about it. And it got back to all these other people too. And so she's just looking like, wow, I don't know what I could do to block this road. Because the highway is going to come. Apparently, no matter what she does, the highway is coming. It's just going to be what. So she was like, well, maybe I'm going to have to run for council. And so she was like, I don't know what to tell you. But, you know, y'all know they have Jacob as the front runner doing the absolute most. So her only hope is to try to get these signatures from her parish and St. Thomas's parish, and the people vote on it. And if they get enough people to vote how they should and the signatures, they might be able to get it where the highway will be pushed over like by 5 miles, and most of the black farmers' land will be okay and out of the way. so that when that highway does come, most of them won't be affected. So, you know, we'll see how that go. Y'all, Micah is in his bed. His mama come in the room and she's instantly like, oh my gosh, thinking that he got hurt because, you know, he has a bandage on his arm from when he got the tattoo. And he was like, oh no, that's not what it is. I got a little tattoo. Man, that tattoo took up his whole arm. I was like, sir. Like, he did the most. And so, of course, she's in her feelings about that, because as soon as I saw he was getting a tattoo, I was like, boy, why did you do that? Your mama didn't like the fact that you got your hair locked up. I have to stop saying dread. I've been trying to stop saying, I basically stopped saying dread for years now. Every now and again I slip up, because I'm used to say dreaded whenever I say dreaded, but I normally say locked 99% of the time. So anyway, he got his hair locked up. She ain't know nothing about nothing. Anytime he does anything, she don't know nothing. And she likes to be in control of everything, as we all know. She likes to be in the know of everything, whatever. So she's just in her feelings, and she's always going to be left out of the loop. And she smelled the alcohol on him. And he was like, oh, no, it's just a little bit. And it was just to take the edge off so I wouldn't really feel the pain. And so she was like, you're 17. You're not supposed to have alcohol at all. And read him about the tattoo as well. Y'all, anyway, they had a scene where Vi came to bed, and you know, it basically was the end of the episode where Vi came and joined Hollywood in the bed, and she's just up. You can tell she's up and in her feelings. Her mind is racing because of everything that's in that book. Y'all, Blue ended up actually telling them what happened and, you know, what the boy said and all this other stuff. And so Ralph Angel, y'all, it took everything in me. I was G about it. I thugged it out. I didn't cry. Ralph Angel told him that he is his daddy, but not biologically. And so Blue was like, you know, what does biologically mean? So he explained to him. And so he was like, is that why I don't look like you? And I'm like, oh my God, no, not children. And so he, you know, Blue gets in his feelings. Like, he's one of those kids that likes absolute, you know, truth. I need to know exactly what you mean. I thought it was this. Is it this or is it that? Y'all, he was like, so I'm not a part of you, and you're not a part of me. And so Ralph Angel was like, yes, I'm a part of you. I'm a part of you, and you're deep down, I'm deep down in your soul, the part of me that's a part of you. And all that, y'all, he was like, look. And then he was like, is that why I don't look like you? And he was like, that don't matter, the fact that we don't look alike. He was like, he said that his soul is inside of him. I was just like, wait, stop. Y'all do it a lot. He was like, I chose to be your daddy. I chose you. Y'all, Blue got in his feelings a little bit. Y'all, I was like, Blue, this boy kills me. Every season, he has at least one moment where he be about to get me. He was like, but what if one day you choose another child? I was like, boy, if you don't get off this screen. He was like, are you sure you're not going to choose somebody else another day? I was like, boy, stop it. Y'all, anyway. So it got to a point where he asked his mama if she was his biological mama, and she was like, yes, I am. And so it got to a point where she was like, you know, even if I weren't, you know, I would still feel the same way that your father feels, and I would still be the same way with you. I would still love you. I would still choose you. So yeah. He turned, you know, it was just a lot, because he was like, am I a part of you too? Or are you a part of me? And y'all, it was just a lot. I was so here for it. Y'all, that episode was everything. Ava, you gonna stop this. You gonna stop. But anyway, y'all, I know it was long. And it was basically the duration of what the actual TV show runtime is. But, like, y'all, it's just so good. I can't help it. I be wanting to tell y'all every single last detail. That's how good it is, y'all. So thank you for bearing with me. I hope you enjoyed this. Y'all have a good night, and I'll see y'all later. I'm about to get into these cherries a little bit more. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Bye.